Once upon a time, there was a certain Japanese manufacturer. The said manufacturer decided to enter one of the fastest growing car markets on the planet, and their pick was a rebranded Indonesian MPV from the 1980s. No new design, no cutting edge technology, just take the Kijang, which is what it was called in Indonesia, slap a new name on it and see if the Indians like it. The Indians didn't just like it. It became a cultural phenomena, and then right when it was at the peak of its popularity, Toyota killed it. Today's story is about a vehicle so ordinary that it was extraordinary. मैं हूं संग्राम and this is the legend of Toyota Qualis. पहली बात तो Qualis globally Qualis थी नहीं. It was the Kijang, which in Indonesia means deer. Kijang also stands for Kerjasama Indonesia Japan. I don't even know if I'm saying this right. In simpler words, Indonesia-Japan Corporation, which signified the collaborative manufacturing efforts between the two countries. The Kijang had been in production since 1977, but by 2000 when Toyota was entering the Indian market, the Kijang was an outdated product. Toyota took the third generation of the Kijang, slapped a new front end, a new back end, gave it the fourth generation drivetrain, and the Qualis was ready to roll. The company that made the Corolla, the Camry, the Land Cruiser entered the Indian market with this. Obviously, initial reactions were cold. Journalists called it old and outdated. Nobody really expected it to work. But Toyota's plan was far more complex. So complex that it understood something simple. The Indian market did not have a family MPV. We had the Sumo and the Bolero, but they were workhorses, utilitarians. They were not family cars. Toyota positioned the Qualis exactly as that. Depending on the variant, you got a 3+3+4 setup. It came with a 2.4-liter diesel engine producing 75 horsepower and 151 Newton meters of torque. Not big thrilling numbers, but this is the very engine that gave Toyota the fame for having the most durable engines in the country. But it wasn't just the engine. In the 2000s, India was still figuring out what the middle class meant. Families who had made money in the past decade did not necessarily want something flashy. They wanted something practical. The Qualis was that car. And then the accidental marketing genius. The Qualis became the official car of India's most popular crime show. Every week, millions of Indian families sat down to watch a bunch of cops driving around in a Qualis. The car was also employed as a PCR van for police forces across India. The Qualis sold an average of 2,338 units over the 5 years of its run. 1.4 lakh units over a period of 5 years in India between 2000 and 2005 when vehicle ownership was still exclusive. Do you realize how crazy that is? And it wasn't just the families that were buying it. Tour companies, taxi operators, it was everywhere. It captured more than 40% of the MPV market at its peak. And right then, at that very moment, Toyota killed it. The Qualis was discontinued in January of 2005. That's all. That's not really all. The global Kijang was being discontinued by Toyota. Toyota was replacing it with either the smaller Avanza or the larger Innova. And we all know what we got. So, the Toyota Qualis, it wasn't revolutionary, it wasn't innovative, it was just honest. And above all, it is one of the most important cars in Indian automotive history because it understood something that cars till date do not understand. People don't always buy the fanciest of cars. People buy the cars that they trust. If you remember the Qualis, drop it in the comments. Or better yet, if you see one, post it. Keep the memory alive. Like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't. मैं बोलते रहूंगा आप लोग करोगे तो हो नहीं, but still, I will see you in the next one.